National Security Council Chief of Staff, Alex Gray. To see, Alex, great to see you, to see the seizure of that one tanker and to think that more could be on the way, it sends one hell of a powerful message, not just to Venezuela, but to China, to go after these tankers, these ghost tankers, which are just feed revenue directly, whether it's Russia or Venezuela, to these rogue regimes.
100%, Dagan. And the idea that we have not taken action decisively in previous administrations to go after this vital lifeline that's keeping the Maduro and before that the Chavez regime in place is just astounding, actually. And it's shocking that it has taken President Trump to go in and do this. But you're right, now that we've done it, it sends a powerful message. And more tangibly, it is going, I think, to have a real impact on the ability of the Maduro regime to sustain itself. I mean, think about this. The reason the regime is able to stay cohesive, to keep the military and the security forces on sides, is they use the oil lifeline to keep the regime intact. And when you cut off the oil lifeline, you're going to have a very hard time keeping loyalty to Maduro going forward.
So talk to me about that a little bit, because I was doing a little research on it, and there's some folks who say you cut off the oil lifeline, it might hurt the Venezuelan people more than the Maduro regime because they have ways to kind of tap into other illicit economies. Is that how you read it, or does this put the tightest squeeze on Maduro first?
Well, I think it's going to put absolute pressure, real pressure, on the people around Maduro. And I think those are the people that we should be focused on. And those are the people, frankly, if we're going to have a nonviolent or non-kinetic American-led change in regime, we're going to need people around Maduro to make the decision that their interests no longer align with him. And these are people who benefit greatly from PDVSA, the Venezuelan state oil company. They benefit from the revenue. The Chavez and Maduro regimes have been very careful and calculated in spreading the wealth to buy the loyalty of the military, the intelligence services. If we can go after that source of revenue, it's going to be a lot harder for them to justify keeping Maduro in power.
We were watching, before we went to break, the video of Maduro singing "Don't Worry," like a version of "Don't Worry, Be Happy." And I just can't even get my head around this man and his predecessor, of course, who has caused so much suffering for the Venezuelan people, that why he's doing that. Who's he doing that for? To poke the United States, he thinks?
Well, look, Chavez before him and now Maduro, they're clownish. And they do things like this, and they give these bombastic, absurd speeches about smiting the Yankees. And, they've been doing this for 25 years. But the reality, Dagan, is, these guys, despite the buffoonishness, they are serious, malign actors in our hemisphere, whether it's working with Russia, China, and Iran to undermine U.S. interests, or even the narco trafficking that's part and parcel of the regime itself. Set aside the singing in public. These guys are real bad actors, and it's about time that we start taking the tough stance that we're taking.
Well, their song might get a little less peppy once they have more oil tankers seized. We got to leave it there. Alex Gray, good to see you. Thanks for being with us today.